Welcome back. Slopestyle mountain biking is all about catching big air and doing sick aerial maneuvers. Today we join up with some of Hawaii's top riders as they push the limits of their sport at their secret playground.
We get stoked about, making it down the hill or cleaning a jump or, just not getting hurt and pushing yourself to the brink of, but not to, just total destruction. And for me, that's one of the best aspects of the sport, is surviving catastrophic failure.
You always kind of want to try to ride with people that are a little bit better than you, because that's going to push you. You watch what they do, and it helps you progress. And then, all of us, me, Tim, Vish, Jason, we've been riding together for years. So, you just kind of get used to what people can do and what can be done, and you just push each other every time you go out.
I do it because I love it. I just got on the bike and just pedaled, and that was it. After that, I was like, I got the bike bug, So it's just like a stress reliever to me. It takes me away. Up there.
Trying tricks, just riding in general, is pretty mental and physical. The physical part, you can practice a lot and, get better and better at it. The mental part is really hard. It's hard to convince yourself to go do something sometimes. But it is fun to, that's why you ride with other people who can do it. People who go out there and show you something. Or if you can you see them do it, you should be able to do it. You hope. It's at least physically possible.
Most of the drops in the riding and the jumps is a lot of it's commitment. You got to just look at it and know what you're doing. And most of the time, if you go at it, if you hesitate and you try to stop, it's going to be a lot worse than if you just do it.
When you pull the bike up and you still got that doubt in your mind, you might as well forget it, because you have to commit 100% to whatever it is you do. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm not sure where I am in the air, you need to commit 100%. It's kind of like marriage or something.
If I have an accident or something like that, I'll get back up, dust myself off, and try it a few more times. I haven't been deterred from anything too bad yet. A few small injuries, nothing major. Yeah, knock on carbon.
That drop that comes out of the tree, probably from where you go off to where you land on the landing, is probably about 15 feet. But the way it's built with a downslope, it doesn't feel like 15 feet because you're landing on a transition.
And then also gauging the speed. I mean, doing it for the first time, being the test pilot is always the hardest, because your mind's like, okay, so how fast do I need to go? You don't really know how fast you need to go. So when you're approaching the drop, you can't see the landing. but you've kind of got faith that there's a landing there because you know you built one, you know? So you basically just take off, and then you're out there, you got to try and find the landing. So, and then once you see the landing, it's like, oh, there's something there to land on. But, you know, if you built it, you've got to hit it. So, you know, you can't just say, hey, I got this big drop, somebody hit it, you know, you got to hit it. We're always trying to work on our tricks. Every mountain biker has a bag of tricks, and the reason for contests is to bring those tricks out and show them how good and dialed they are. You really have to like train to perfect every maneuver that you do, and the more repetition that you do, you get familiar so that when it comes time to do it on the dirt, you're feeling confident. And every trick, even in the beginning, when it starts as like a no-footer, you know, just taking your feet off the pedals, just that one time, that first time is scary as hell. But you just take your feet off just a little bit. Every time you jump, just a little bit, and then out, and gradually you can find that confidence in your repetition and your ability and your bike to slam the trick, and that's the rush, is pulling the trick off.
Ouch! Some of those wipeouts look pretty painful. We'll be right back with the downhill aspect of mountain biking. Welcome back. Hawaii's terrain is ideal for downhill mountain biking. Steep hills and rocky terrain are the perfect ingredients for high speed and adrenaline-loaded riding. Let's hit the hills above Oahu.
Started flying by, and with a wish, and I hope it comes true. Hope it comes true. Hope it comes true.
The scene in Hawaii for mountain biking, I think, is pretty cool. It's pretty close knit. I think where we're talking about all these divisions of this type of riding, this type of riding, this type of, there's a lot of people here that do a lot of riding of different divisions. On the mainland, people might focus more on, I'm only into this or I do that, you know, and they call themselves this or that. Here it's a way more, we'll do everything.
The terrain in Hawaii is very steep. You know, there's a lot of places where you have more elevation, but it's more gradual. But you have a lot of varied terrain with dirt, with lava rock. And the best thing about Hawaii is, you know, we ride this stuff all year long. The weather doesn't matter. You go to other places like Vancouver, Colorado, you know, you're pretty much shut down for the winter.
Downhilling here in Hawaii, pretty fast, tight corners, speeds up in 30-mile-an-hour range, rocks, roots.
You're basically taking this bike down this steep, gnarly, rocky track, which people would barely even walk down without tripping over, and you're just hammering it down there over these boulders the size of cars or whatever.
In my eyes, it's getting from one point to the other as fast as you can and to beat everybody there. I'm really competitive, and having a competitive edge is something that I strive to obtain.
With the downhill riding, you know, it's all about finding not necessarily the smoothest line, but the fastest line. A lot of times in downhill, people look at it and the line looks really, really sketchy, but the faster you go over that line, you know, it might be the easiest way. Instead of hitting 5 bumps because you're going over it slow, you hit 1 bump and go over them all.
You'll find like a steep section, and most people slow down for those sections, but in actual fact, our bikes are designed to be able to just mow straight over them. So the faster you go, the less bumpy it is. And after a while, you just become so in tune with the bike. So the bikes are just so connected with the ground, you know, the shocks. You feel every single bump and rock.
If a line looks terrible and you hit it going fast, it's probably the best line you can get. And sometimes the best line is the worst looking line, and that's what weeds out the girls from the men.
Out of the night of crap and a chopper down. Down, down, she fell to the ground. But she never knew of her impending doom. But that old world does the story of the blood, bones, and the fumes. No, fish and flounder. I will wander, but I can't find my way.
Inherent dangers of the sport. They are falling down, hitting trees, hitting obstacles, you know, going over the bars. There's a bunch of things that you would like not to do. Making it down the hill as fast as you can without any of these inherent dangers is kind of what makes the sport fun.
It's also a mental game too, you know. You may come to a section where you're looking down and it is just gnarly. There is rocks everywhere and you're like, where do I go? And you kind of have to like find your line down there, and it's not easy, but that's the rush. You're like, whoa, just about went face first into a pile of rocks. I know it sounds silly, but that is almost like the essence of mountain biking. It's just pinning it down some steep, gnarly or single track.
What happened to the days you brought me flowers? These days are so much colder. You said we'd be together. No! The deeper it gets, the more you're missing. When it's gone, take me away or shoot me down just like an animal.
So downhill riding is like a big rush, but it's also a lot of fun. But I think every person has a little bit of mountain biking in them. You know, whether it's pedaling up a hill or going down the hill, you know, everybody that jumps on a mountain bike and just rides down some little single track for the first time is like, wow, this is cool. You know, you don't get this in the bicycle lanes. You know, you're turning, there's the earth, it's just fun. It's just, all around, like, mountain biking is just, it's the best rush you can get, pretty much, I think, personally.